is Philly thinking that Ace Bailey can't scale down, and that's why they could be looking around here with different options at 3?
I don't know what Philly's thinking, to be honest with you. I get that they're in a weird situation just because they have two guys that you have to assume they're in win now mode, right? I mean, they just paid Embiid a lot of money. They just paid Paul George a lot of money. You do need insurance for Embiid, so I understand that. And if you believe Molly Welch is going to be a starting caliber center and a star down the line, then you have to kick the tires on that. But I can't put a finger on what they're thinking. I know what I would do if I were Daryl Morey. I would go with Tre Johnson. But it's
why Trey? Why would you go with Trey?
Just when I look at what he did his freshman year at Texas, SEC was historically the best conference as far as his teams in the tournament. He led the SEC in scoring, shot 39% from 3 on a heavy volume of contested shots. And so with him, you get a scorer, you get a guy that I think he's a better passer than Ace Bailey. He's a better shooter than Ace Bailey, a little smaller. The height difference is not what we thought it was. And I think he's, like I said, I don't know if I mentioned, but a better passer. I just think he's a better overall player than Ace Bailey.
James, you say Ace. Like, do you think Tre Johnson will be a bad idea for Philly? Because personally, I think Trey would make a lot of sense for the Sixers in the regard that, like, he adds a ton of shooting, adds more firepower in the backcourt. But then I look, they have Jared McCain. They have Tyrese Maxey. Is it too much overlap in the backcourt would be my question with Tre Johnson there. If it's like, what do you think about that idea?
I'm all for firepower, but I just feel like Ace's defensive upside is a little bit higher. I mean, he is bigger. He was more active on the glass. He should be able to block shots in the weak side. And I think that the trade-off is, okay, maybe we're not getting somebody who can – we're still getting a very good scorer. I mean, like Ace Bailey played extremely well at Rutgers. It's just that in a scaled-down role, if he's like that Michael Porter Jr. type player who can make open shots and defend and rebound, I think that more so is what they need, especially since like their timeline is right now. Now, if Ace turns into something else, then you still could be getting a high level, score. It's just that right now, 2-year window, really a 1-year window. I think they might need simple, and then they can still develop him into something later on down the line.
Is MPJ a fair comp though for Ace Bailey? I mean, MPJ had a flamethrower jumper in high school, flamethrower in college. He's a 40% guy on a high volume in his career. Ace Bailey hasn't had numbers at that level. He's also been like up and down from the free throw line for that matter. Are we sure Ace Bailey actually is an elite shooter?
That's a fair question. I believe he was at like what we would say league average. Rafael's over here smirking. He's at league average even in high school from 3. But I also think that some of that is the type of shots that he's taking. So like in high school, there are a lot of stare down threes. And even at Rutgers, there's still a lot of stare down threes. You're going to have to reprogram him. But if you reprogram him, he should be I think, even though the free throw percentage could go either way, if he's a 37% 3-point shooter at 6'8", 6'9", like you'll absolutely take that.
Rafa, you were smirking.
Always smirking at me.
I just think that he's very, very streaky. And when he's on, he's incredible. But I don't know if he's a consistent shooter. And like you said, the free throw shooting. He hasn't been like a phenomenal free throw shooter either. So when I look at Tre Johnson, the 39% from 3, 87% from the foul line, to me that says, all right, the shooting numbers are real. I just don't know how real they are with Ace Bailey.
Yeah, I have my concerns there with him too. I mean, I'm not the biggest Ace Bailey guy. Personally, if I'm Philadelphia, I'd be very, very open to trading down. I've heard the Pelicans at number 7 like Ace Bailey. Joe Dumars there sounds like he really likes Ace Bailey. Could try to trade up to number 3 to Philly or number 4 with Charlotte. That to me is the best case scenario for the Sixers, is you trade down 4 spots from 3 to 7. New Orleans gets their guy in Ace Bailey, and then at number 7, you can probably still get Malawach there. I would imagine he's going to still be there. I don't know if Tre Johnson would be there at number 7 for Philadelphia, but Malawach, like I don't see it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rafael, but like I don't think he'd be going 4 or 5.
I don't know. If I'm Charlotte, I have to really consider it. I mean, you can't bring Mark Williams back after you traded him. and
No.
then he has to come back. Then he posted something after what was it, the Lakers lost or something like that. I just think that relationship is probably, I just think it's probably damaged. And if Molly Welch can provide what Mark Williams provided, but he's healthier and he's cheaper and younger, to me that makes some sense there. Because if you let Mark go this summer, then who do you have at the 5? Are you playing Nurkic at the 5 next year?
No.
Yeah,
He's done. He should. I mean, soon he'll be looking international at some point. Like it's just the reality of it. Like he's near the end after a really strong career. But I do. That's a good point about Charlotte at number 4. I think with them, like definitely looking for a big. Even Derek Queen, if they were to trade down, would be interesting for them.